Welcome to Stoic Mindset Daily. In today's video, we're diving deep into a fascinating question. What really makes a woman decide whether or not she'll sleep with a man? Most guys believe it's a sudden, heat-of-the-moment choice. They imagine attraction as a kind of lightning strike. 1 second, nothing's happening. And the next second, sparks fly, and it's on. But psychology tells a very different story. Attraction isn't about a single moment or a random switch being flipped. Instead, it's about a quiet, often invisible checklist that's running in the background of her mind long before anything physical happens. Today, we're going to unpack 8 powerful and subtle factors women consider when making that decision. Some of these will probably confirm what you already suspected. But I guarantee you this. At least one of them is going to surprise you so much that it will completely change the way you see attraction and connection. If you're new here, you're in exactly the right place. On this channel, we break down psychology, dating advice, and mindset strategies every single day. So if you're ready to grow, if you're ready to see relationships and attraction from a deeper perspective, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. All right? Let's get into it. Factor 1. How you handle awkward silence. Picture this. You're sitting across from her. The conversation has been flowing. Everything feels smooth. And then suddenly, the rhythm drops. There's that heavy pause. Neither of you knows what to say next. This moment terrifies most men. They panic. They think, oh no, she's losing interest. I've got to fill the gap. I have to keep talking. And what usually comes out is nervous chatter, pointless filler, or even worse, a joke that doesn't land. But here's the psychology. Silence is not the enemy. In fact, how you handle silence tells her more about you than the actual words coming out of your mouth. Ah, man who sits comfortably in that pause, maybe even smiles at it, signals something powerful. Emotional composure. He's showing that he can handle tension. He doesn't need to scramble for validation. His self-worth isn't on trial every time the room gets quiet. And here's where it gets really interesting. That composure translates directly into how safe she feels around you. Safety, in a psychological sense, isn't just about physical protection. It's about emotional security. If you're calm in silence, she feels you can also handle the vulnerability that comes with intimacy. You're not going to fall apart if things aren't perfectly smooth. Think about it this way. Intimacy itself is full of vulnerable silences. Eye contact, stillness, moments where no one is saying anything. If she sees you can handle that before anything physical happens, her subconscious registers it as, this man can hold space for me. I can let my guard down around him. Here's a quick tip. The next time there's an awkward pause, don't rush to kill it. Take a slow breath. Keep your body language relaxed. Maybe even look her in the eye with a calm half smile. 9 times out of 10, she'll be the one to break the silence. And when she does, she won't just be filling the gap. She'll be investing more of herself into the connection. Factor 2. How you treat strangers and service. Staff, we've all heard the cliche advice. Be nice to the waiter. But this goes way deeper than politeness. Women are watching for something more subtle. The underlying tone of how you want. Interact with people who have no obligation to you. When you talk to a server, a cab driver, or even a stranger holding the door, do you speak with warmth? Do you acknowledge their humanity? Or do you treat them like background props in your own story? Why does this matter so much? Because it's a direct window into your character. You see, early attraction isn't just about physical chemistry. It's about her brain running calculations. If I invest in this man, can I trust him? Is he grounded? Will he be entitled? Will he respect me once the initial spark fades? When you show unforced courtesy, not over-the-top fake kindness, but genuine respect, it signals that you're not ruled by ego. That flips a very primal switch in her psychology. It says this man understands how to navigate the world without stepping on people. He's safe to build with. He's not a ticking time bomb of entitlement. Now imagine the opposite. If you snap at a waiter or dismiss a stranger, her subconscious instantly starts projecting. If he can't handle a minor inconvenience without being rude, how's he going to handle conflict in a relationship? How's he going to treat me when he's stressed? That's why something as simple as your tone in those micro interactions can outweigh your charm at the dinner table. Because to her, it's not just about dinner. It's about the future factor 3, your relationship with your own body. This one trips up a lot of guys. They think women are scanning for six-packs or biceps. But here's the truth. It's not about having the perfect body. It's about how you live inside the body you have. Let's say you're constantly tugging at your shirt, adjusting your posture, apologizing with your body language. You're broadcasting one message. I'm uncomfortable with myself, but when you carry yourself naturally, shoulders relaxed, movements unhurried, taking up space without apology, you communicate something far more attractive. Grounded confidence. Confidence doesn't mean being the loudest voice in the room. It's not about bragging, flexing, or trying to prove something. True confidence is quiet. It's the way you sit in a chair like you belong there. It's the way you walk into a room and take up space without asking for permission. Women pick up on this instantly. Because again, her subconscious isn't just looking at your abs or arms. It's asking, does this man feel at home in his own skin? If he's comfortable with himself, can I feel comfortable around him? Think of it like this. If you don't trust your own body, why should she? And here's the best part. You don't need to look like a fitness model to nail this. Even small shifts make a massive difference. Slow your movements down. Plant your feet firmly when you stand. Breathe deeper. Treat your body like a home, not a costume you're embarrassed to wear. That subtle self-trust radiates. And she'll feel it. Factor 4. Whether you can surprise her, mind predictability kills intrigue. If every word out of your mouth is exactly what she expects, the connection flattens fast. Desire often grows from curiosity. The unknown is magnetic. If she can't quite figure you out, she leans closer. Now, this doesn't mean being mysterious in some fake bad boy way. It's about genuinely offering perspectives that shift how she sees the world. Maybe it's a story she's never heard before. Maybe it's a question no one's ever asked her. Maybe it's the way you connect to ideas that seem unrelated. When you reframe her perspective, you create what psychologists call a cognitive spark. Her brain literally lights up. Suddenly, she's not just talking to another guy. She's experiencing herself differently in your presence. And that mental spark often snowballs into emotional and physical attraction. Here's a simple example. Instead of asking the same old "so, what do you do?" Try something like, what's something you've always wanted to learn but never had the chance to? That tiny shift takes the conversation from autopilot to exploration. The beauty of this factor is that it doesn't require you to be a genius or a comedian. It just requires curiosity, the willingness to go beyond surface-level chatter. And when she feels mentally stimulated, her body often follows. Factor 5. How you end an interaction. Most men obsess over first impressions. And yes, they matter. But psychology shows women are often even more influenced by last impressions. How she feels when you leave. Think about it. The last few moments of a conversation are what echo in her mind afterward. Did you leave her buzzing with anticipation, wondering when she'll see you again? Or did you leave her relieved that the interaction is over? A clean, confident exit plants a seed in her subconscious. It lingers. She replays it. And often, the more she replays it, the stronger her desire to see you grows. Here's where most guys go wrong. They drag out the goodbye. They hesitate, stumble, keep talking, or act uncertain. That leaves a residue of awkwardness. Instead, end with clarity. Maybe it's a smile, strong eye contact, and a simple line like, "This was great. Let's pick it up later." Short, confident, and decisive. Why does this matter? Because attraction thrives on anticipation. When you end strong, you give her brain something to chew on. You create an open loop, and humans are wired to want closure. That keeps you on her mind long after you've walked away. Factor 6. Your ability to let her talk herself. Into it, here's one of the biggest secrets. Women often decide not while you're talking. But while they're talking, think about it. When someone speaks out loud, they're processing their own feelings. They're persuading themselves. If you dominate the conversation, if you're always steering it, you rob her of that process. But when you hold space, when you truly listen without interrupting, you give her room to connect the dots. She starts associating you with the clarity she feels in those moments. And when the decision feels like hers, it's infinitely more powerful. Because attraction isn't something forced onto her. It's something she chose. That's why listening is so underrated. It's not passive. It's active creation. By listening, you allow her to paint a picture of you in her own mind, and usually, it's a more attractive picture than you could have painted yourself. Factor 7. What you do when plans fall apart. Life doesn't always go smoothly. Maybe the restaurant loses your reservation. Maybe the Uber cancels. Maybe it suddenly starts raining. These moments are pure gold because chaos reveals character. Most guys get flustered. They sulk. They apologize endlessly. They act like the night is ruined. But here's the truth. The ruined plan is often the best opportunity to show who you really are. If you stay playful and adaptive, her brain codes you as resilient. Someone who can handle problems without collapsing. Someone who can turn obstacles into adventures. And resilience is wildly attractive. Because deep down, she's not just asking, is this man fun tonight? She's asking, can I trust this man in life? When things go wrong, and they always will, can he steady the ship? That's why laughing in the rain, shrugging off delays, or improvising a new plan on the spot can sometimes build more attraction than a flawless evening. Because she doesn't just remember the date. She remembers how she felt in the chaos. Factor 8. Whether she feels more like herself around you. This is the invisible final factor. Maybe the most important one of all. Attraction isn't always about how you make her see you. It's often about how you make her see herself. If in your presence she feels funnier, smarter, more relaxed, or more alive, she associates you with her best self. That association is magnetic. It's what keeps her wanting to be close, not just physically, but emotionally. Think about the people you love being around. It's not always because of who they are, it's because of how you feel when you're with them. That's the same psychology at play here. So the real question isn't, how can I impress her? The real question is, how can I create a space where she feels more like herself? When you do that, everything else flows naturally.